Barak Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh Shai.
Barak Yahweh Shai.
Hey, we want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By
Hashem.
Hashem, Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai.
Shai.
By Hashem, Harakak Kodash. We also want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, rule well, and peace and blessings to the hopefully elect. Zahab, to my left is.
Ayashima.
Alright, today we're going to go into basically a spiritual boost for brethren, man. And it's basically going to the entrance of the kingdom. How basically we're going to be on top and we're going to have the glory, man. And all the wealth of the Gentiles is going to be converted into our hands. Alright, meaning that everything that you see, everything that puts these world powers in power, we're going to have that. Alright? I'm saying this to say, we're in captivity and Jake inwardly wants to rule, man. Jake, we basically, our line go back to Israel. You go into King David, King Solomon. We were royalty, man. So Jake wants that in his captivity. That's why you see Jake with the nice cars and Jake wear designer this and that if they can afford it. Because they really want to rule. But, this for brothers in this truth, man, we're going to get that without the acting, man. You watch rap videos and they're wearing Versace and Gucci, but those are still bought and paid for as slaves, man. Mm-hmm. We're still in captivity. So can you get Isaiah 61 and 6?
Come.
Actually, you can start at verse 4, brother.
Okay, come. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 61 verse 4. And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations.
And that's actually talking about the other nations repairing God's cities, man, because Jerusalem gonna get destroyed during World War III. All right, but the Gentiles gonna repair our cities, and that's part of rulership. See, brothers got to get into that ruling class mentality where other races of people are gonna work for us. Mm-hmm. Esau's in his kingdom, and Esau ain't doing nothing. Mm-hmm. I mean, he enslaved other Edomites, but Esau has the world working for him. Mm-hmm. So in our kingdom, we're going to have the world working for us. They're going to build our waste cities. That's not against the Most High. That's with the Most High.
Okay.
All right.
And it said, and strangers shall stand and feed your flocks.
Yep.
And the sons of the aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers.
See, this goes back to Deuteronomy 28, the first 15 verses. Basically, we're going to be on the top. See, we're going to be a power structure. Okay? We're going to be a power structure, man. Brothers got to get ready for that, man. It's bigger than what you can never imagine. It's going to literally be like trading places. We're going to go from being a homeless guy, all right, the rich man Lazarus situation, the homeless guy, to being in a mansion, man. You got something like?
Yeah, I'm going back to what you referenced in Deuteronomy 28.
Yep.
All right, this is this is the benefits of us keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, which will be written in us. All right, according to the New Testament, man. All right, this is book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 13. And the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai shall make thee the head and not the tail.
See, we're going to be running the power structure. When you go through your city, you see all the big buildings and the big businesses. If you notice that we don't partake in that, we might work in those buildings. Some brothers or certain Israelites might have a high position, but we don't have impact on the planet Earth. We're not in control of the world's economy. All right, like the Dallas brothers get into. All right, like this brother gets into. All right,
and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only.
Yep. See, Jake has been institutionalized in America and has acclimated into being a tail, and has made a lifestyle out of being a tail. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, brothers, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, that we're going to be the head, man. All right, you got it.
And it said, and thou shalt not be beneath, if thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, thy power which I command thee this day to observe and do them.
Yep. So we kept the laws, statutes, and commandments, which we did not. We would be the head of the world, man. We'll be the head of all the nations, and not the tail. But now in the kingdom, this is the time that we're coming into, we're about to be the head. And what you're reading in Isaiah was a description of us being the head and the other nations being the tail. And they were doing what someone that's in the tail position would do, and it would build for the head. All right. That's why they're planting our vineyards and feeding our flocks.
Okay. back in Isaiah chapter 61, verse 6. But ye shall be named the priest of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. Men shall call you the ministers of the Most High. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves.
In their glory shall you boast yourselves, man. All right, because we're going to boast ourselves in having their possessions, man. All right, that's what Esau does. He takes over other countries by going straight for their resources. He wants their gold, their silver, their oil. Well, we're going to have the same thing. All right?
And that word boast, in the Hebrew, you go into one of the definitions. It actually goes to trading places like you were talking about earlier. You know, so we're going to trade, all right, places in the glory, all right, of the so-called white man, man. You know, so we're just going to be on a whole nother level, man. But we're going to be the ones, all right, that's reverence, all right, across the planet Earth, man.
God. So, hey, actually, it's funny because I was looking at different translations of that verse, and it said, where it says we're going to boast ourselves, it said we're going to be famous. Some translations said that we're going to be famous. Going back to, I believe it's Hosea, we're going to get famine out of the land.
It's
Zephaniah. So, hey, there you go. All right.
Keep going, bro.
Now, you can get Revelations 21. Start at the 21st verse, and we're going to read down to the 26th verse.
All right. Revelation 21. Revelation 21 what, bro?
24.
24. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 24. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it.
The kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it, man. To the entrance of Jerusalem, man. All right, but this is us getting the wealth of the world, man. It was once in the Old Testament and now it's in the New Testament. All right.
And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, nor, it said, for there shall be no night there, and they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it.
Yep. So they're gonna bring the glory and honor. What's the glory and the honor of the nations? It's the riches, man. All right, we're gonna get all that. See, we're not thinking about getting our taxes, and that's gonna be our little baby kingdom. We're not thinking about selling out or getting a better job. We want the world, man. What makes you different than Esau that you can't rule? You ever ask yourself that?
Right.
Okay, we're the same height generally. We both speak English. We both have 2 legs. Our heads about the same size. What is it that he's doing that we're not doing? But now we know what we're not doing. Going back to Deuteronomy 28, we didn't keep the laws. So now we're back to keeping the laws and worshiping the Most High, asking for forgiveness. Now we're about to get the kingdom, man.
And that shows that a nation is in subjection when they pay tribute, man. You know, if another nation has, all right, another nation paying tribute, that's a sign that nation is in subjection, man. You know, and that they're complying, being subordinate, all right, with the nation that's in charge, man. You know, when they pay their tribute, man. You know. Need something else, bro.
That was it. On 26.
Yeah,
All right, yeah, you can go to Isaiah 60 and 6.
All right, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 60. Verse 6, it said, the multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dromedarians of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on my altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Verse 8, who are these that fly as a cloud, and as doves to their windows? Like.
Yeah, that goes back to us being in those chariots flying over to Jerusalem. But did you read Isaiah 60 and 6?
60 and 6. All right, this book Isaiah 60 and 6. The multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dromedaries of Midian and Ephah all day from Sheba shall come, and they shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Lord.
Okay, I must wrote down the wrong scripture, but that's okay. But the point is, see, anytime we leave our captivity or anytime we take over another nation, we take their glory, man. We take their riches, man.
You probably I started 15. That's probably what you were talking about, bro.
Okay,
go
go.
to 16.
Want to go on to suck the milk of the Gentiles?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
16. This is Isaiah 60 and 15. And it said, whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob.
Yep. So, hey, there you go, man. Hey, we're going to suck the milk of the Gentiles, man. See, there's nothing wrong with wanting that stuff, man. You just got to want it in its proper context. 2/3 were impatient, so they probably sold drugs for it or whatever it may be. But the 1/3, we're patient, and we're going to get it in the kingdom, and we're going to get it in abundance, man. All right, you have some up?
Yeah, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 23. Salaki, chapter 49, verse 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers.
All of this is an illustration of power, man. You know? All right.
They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, for they shall not be ashamed to wait for me.
Yeah. And that's the point. They should not be ashamed who wait for him. So, hey, but they said kings should be thy nursing fathers, man. All right, so that's an illustration of power, man. So you have to ask yourself, what position am I going to be in if actual kings going to be nursing my children and bow down with their face towards the ground? Okay.
Turn kings into servants, man.
Yeah.
Like Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 10 and 6, he seen like an heir that proceeded from the ruler, from the Most High. Servants walking upon ground. Servants upon horses, and princes walk upon ground, man. So it's gonna be the role reversal, man. The true, rulers are gonna be back in power, and the people that are considered kings and nobles, and the higher ups in this society are gonna go back to being servants, man, like they was created for, man.
Last scripture. Exodus 12 and 36. Let me sure that's it. Cause going back, man, hey, Shalom, brother. Going back, it's historical. We do this in history. We take over a nation, or it's a lot. We take over a nation, or we left Egypt. And, we basically got what the Egyptians had, man. And I got this because I saw a review, like a snippet of a video, a rap video. And it was like Gucci Mane and Amigos. And it was all wearing Versace. But you know how Jake, man, we make that stuff look good. But I was thinking that's really going to be us in the kingdom, man. We really going to be wearing the robes and the linen and the fabrics of other kings, man. They're going to be sewing our stuff together. And we really are going to be, flamboyant, man. Like, yeah, because we really are going to be in a position that we're spiritually meant to be in.
Exodus 12, wasn't it?
36.
All right, this is the book of Exodus chapter 12, verse 36. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians.
Yeah, and they spoiled the Egyptians, man. Oh, this is another example, man. That happened in the ancient world when we left Egypt, but we took their possessions. So the Most High was down with this. He green-lighted it, man. So in the kingdom, we're gonna spoil the heathen, man. We're gonna spoil the rest of the nations, man. Because right now we're spoiled, man. They have all of our possessions. All right.
Keep going.
Nah, that's it.
Okay, come on. I'm trying to see what's up.
There's
one more. I got an example.
Okay.
This is the book of Chronicles, chapter 18, verse 1. And it's just going into, examples, all right, in our history that's gonna show you, all right, what the brother is bringing out, what the other brother is bringing out, man. Because this thing was done before, man. This is the book of First Chronicles, chapter 18, verse 1. Now after this, it came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them and took Gath and her towns out of the hand of the Philistines. And he smote Moab, and the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts. And David smote Hadarezer, king of Zobah, unto Hamath, as he went to establish his dominion by the river Euphrates. So you see how King David is conquering nations, man, and turning those nations to service, man. And those nations are doing what? Bringing gifts, man. And it says, and David took from him 1,000 chariots and 7,000 horsemen and 20,000 footmen. David also hewed all the chariots' horses, but reserved of them 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to help Hadarezer, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 220,000 men. Then David put garrisons in Syrian Damascus, and the Syrians became David's servants and brought gifts. Thus the Lord Yahushua preserved David whithersoever he went. The Lord was dealing with David, man. So he had favor. He was able to conquer kings, man. And get gifts brought to him. Get substances, resources brought to him, man. They paid tribute in the form of continuous subjection, man. If you stop paying tribute, all right, that's a sign of rebellion, man. So when you paying tribute, that's a sign that you in that continued subjection, man. It's gonna be like that, all right. Continue in the kingdom, man. Keep going. And then it said, and David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadarezer and brought them to Jerusalem. And it says, in verse 8, likewise from Tabbath and from Chon, cities of Hadarezer, brought David very much brass, wherewith Solomon made the brassen seat and the pillars and the vessels of brass. Because a lot of that, the resources that Solomon used to build the temple, this was when King David was storing all these things up, man. Because David was very, very well off as well, man. Solomon took it to the next level, but he got a jump start off of David, man, having those kingdoms bringing their tribute, man. And it said, now when Tau, king of Hamath, heard how David had smitten all the hosts of Hadarezer, king of Zobah, he sent Hadaram, his son, to King David to inquire of his welfare and to congratulate him because he had fought against Hadarezer and smitten him. For Hadarezer had war with Tau, and with him all manners of vessels of gold and silver and brass. Them also King David dedicated unto the Lord with the silver and gold that he brought from all these nations, from Edom and from Moab and from the children of Ammon and from the Philistines and from Amalek. And he said, and he moreover Abishai the son of Zerah slew the Edomites in the valley of Salt 18,000, and he put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became David's servants. Thus the Lord Yahushua preserved David whithersoever he went. So the Lord's finna show that same type of favor again, man. Just on a much more larger magnitude, man.
And it goes to show you, having riches is a part of coming in power. Having the finer things, man, under the sun, that's the accolade of conquering another country, man. All right, so we're gonna take over the world, as it says in Daniel. The saints shall take the kingdom. So along with that is gonna come the wealth, man. So brothers, just be patient, man. Brothers is suffering in a lower state or whatever it may be. We're gonna have the wealth, man, and the power, and we're gonna administer the law, statutes, and commandments, man, all in one.
It's the kingdom is nothing compared to being to being successful in America, man.
Yep.
You know, it don't even compare, man. You can't even talk about the same two in the same sentence, man. All right, you'll be disrespecting, all right, the kingdom. You know, if you try to compare it to being successful in Esau's kingdom, man. Even if you win, even if you get $1 trillion in this kingdom, man, it's nothing compared to what's coming in the kingdom, man. You know, that worthless wealth, man. You know.
Con, you had anything else?
Nah, it was it, bro.
Hey, well, with that, I hope we hope you brothers are edified. And we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
Yahweh,
Yahushua. And to the next lesson, Shalom.
Shalom.